It's Tuesday, July 3rd, and the Giants get clobbered by the Rockies tonight, 8-1. This is Giants Roundup, and you can follow on Twitter. Join the Crook and Kite page on Facebook. Most importantly, please be kind and hit that subscribe button. And this is probably the end of the line for Chris Stratton tonight, as he's likely heading back to Sacramento after tonight's terrible start tonight. And the Rockies got on to Stratton in a
electrolytes to help you rehydrate so you can keep sweating. Study, tested, proven.
and Stratton just AT'd off from Stratton from the word go tonight, as Charlie Blackmon starts off the hit parade with a home run to center. It makes it 1-0 Colorado. Then Parra singles. It scores giant killer Nolan Arenado. It makes it 2-0. And that would be one. And Nolan Arenado is definitely a giant killer tonight, going 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Charlie Blackmon 3 for 5. Just not a good outing for Stratton. Then it would only get worse in the third inning, as Trevor Story triples to deep right. It scores Cargo. It makes it 3-0 Colorado. And then the big one in the fifth, as Nolan Arenado, yes, he hits one to deep center. It's gone. It scores DJ LeMahieu. Charlie Blackmon makes it 6-0. And they did decide to let Chris Stratton lie in his own bed tonight, since he's likely gone after this. Then in the sixth inning, LeMahieu doubles to right. It scores Ian Desmond 7-0. And then Charlie Blackmon singles to deep right. It scores LeMahieu 8-0. Then that would be the end of Chris Stratton's night, and probably the end of Chris Stratton up with the Giants for the time being, as he gives up 8 earned runs in 5 2/3 innings. His ERA balloons to 4.93. Pierce Johnson comes in the game. He was actually pretty good. He did walk 1.1 scoreless, 1 1/3 scoreless innings. But then on a error by Pierce Johnson in the seventh inning, he trips over first base. Luckily, he wasn't hurt too bad. But here's the thing with Cueto and Samardzija being activated from the disabled list on the next homestand, Pierce Johnson's probably going to go on the 10-day disabled list with that as a corresponding roster move. So Pierce Johnson will probably get a little bit of a break before heading back to Sacramento. He will probably have an MRI done on that tonight. But that was a scary moment. Pierce Johnson was able to continue on. And then Corey Guerin, not a bad night. And Guerin, he can't afford too many more clunkers at this point, with Ray Black lurking in the wings in Sacramento. But Sanzatella was definitely a giant killer tonight. He goes 7 scoreless. Mike Dunn gives up an earned run in third of an inning pitched. And then McGee and Musgrave come in to shut it down. The only run comes from Allen Hansen bloop. Hansen would single to score Austin Jackson. That would be your only run for the Giants. And 22 to 11 hits wise in the series thus far, and Colorado scored. Giants have only scored 3 runs, whereas Colorado has scored 13. That needs to change in game 3. I certainly think Bochy could. I think Crawford, hopefully he gets a day off tomorrow. I think Crawford could get a rest day tomorrow. Possibly Brandon Belt could get a rest day. We could see Posey at first. We could see Nick Hundley in the squat tomorrow. And we do have Andy Suarez coming. Andy Suarez will start tomorrow. He's going to try to stop the bleeding. So hopefully that will happen. And then, as I say, looks like Derek Holland will be moving to the bullpen on the homestand. And it looks like Suarez is going to keep his rotation spot due to tonight's performance by Stratton. And maybe Stratton can get it together in the minors, or he could easily end up where Tyler Beatty is. I could see him going, maybe getting converted to a reliever. That's a real possibility with Tyler Herb looking to leapfrog him. Casey Kelly's done okay. And then you got Sean Anderson, who looked pretty decent. He could be up in AAA in the second half of the year. So we'll see what happens here. But hopefully Chris Stratton can find his mojo in Sacramento in the next few games. So we'll see what happens with that. Last 3 games have just not been good for Stratton, and hopefully he can find his rhythm. But he's just Suarez and Rodriguez have just been better at this point. So your rotation is going to be Bumgarner, Cueto, Samardzija, Rodriguez, and Suarez is your 5-man rotation. Derek Holland is going to be demoted to the bullpen. So now you've got 2 long relievers in the bullpen with Ty Block and Derek Holland, both lefties. So you got 4 and 4. This is not too bad. Now Bruce Bochy can mix and match out of the bullpen a lot better, with your lefties being Holland, Block, Smith, and Watson. And on the right side, you've got Guerin. You've got Guerin, Melanson, Guerin, Melanson. Why am I getting a brain freeze here? Guerin, Melanson, Guerin, Melanson. Guerin, Melanson, Dyson. There we go, Dyson. On the right side, Guerin, Melanson, Dyson. So not too bad. You got 50-50. So it's a luxury to have 4 lefties out of the bullpen. Oh yeah, no, Reyes Maranta. That's I don't know why I keep forgetting Reyes Maranta. That's your 4th. So 4 lefties, 4 righties. That is pretty. So Bochy's got a pretty set bullpen here for the stretch run here. And as I said, I think you give Crawford a day off tomorrow. Give Belt a day off, and hopefully you can get that run scoring up a skosh. Hopefully we will see Austin Slater back out there in left field. Uh, just we need to the bats need to play like they're playing at Coors Field. Come on. But everybody's kind of going to rag on. We'll see how Samardzija does. Hopefully Samardzija can duplicate the success from last night in Sacramento. And Cueto, he was definitely on his game before he got hurt, and getting him back for the stretch run is key. And then just having those 2 youngsters staying in the rotation, I think we definitely now have a lethal rotation going into the stretch run. So that is going to be a big part of this series coming up. But let's just get out of Colorado with a win. Let's not get swept tomorrow. It will be Andy Suarez against. It'll be Andy Suarez against Tyler Anderson for your 4th of July game. And then afterwards, this will be a delayed show tomorrow night. It'll be on air after the 4th of July wraps up. So when I get back from the beach and the fireworks, I will be on air. It'll be a delayed show. It won't be right after the game since it's 4th of July. And certainly Suarez, the last couple starts, he's really got his rhythm together. Anderson's not been too terribly bad. So just find any way you can to avoid the sweep and get some players some rest. And then after tomorrow, you don't have to worry about Coors Field again until. And then you don't have to worry about going to Denver again until September. And that will be the final road trip for the Giants to Coors will be the road trip on September 3rd to September 5th. So, yes, hope springs eternal that there's only one more roadie in Denver for the year for the Giants. So that definitely brings some hope for you before we head home to play St. Louis, Chicago, and Oakland. Then we hit the All-Star break. But let's go to let's do the buyers or sellers. Tonight's buyers or sellers team is certainly going to be selling. It will be a big fire sale in Baltimore this year, as the Orioles are certainly in last place. They're not going to be contending. They are unlikely to retain Manny Machado, so they're going to definitely try to get as much of a return for Manny Machado they can get. Other guys that could be on the trading block, and I think the team that's going to land Machado is Philadelphia. Right now, Philadelphia definitely has the king's ransom, but do they overpay for Machado? That's going to be the question for Philadelphia. And then Baltimore, they could look to unload. Certainly, they want to get a return for Zach Britton. He's been hurt the last couple years, so that's going to ding his trade value a bit. Brad Brock, he's got closer experience for a team, so he's definitely got some trade value. And then some starters with trade value. You've got Kevin Gossman, who's having a decent year, even though the numbers don't. He could definitely be an upgrade option for a team like the A's or the Mariners, who don't have much to give up in prospects. Or you've got Andrew Kashner, another one that could get you not a. He won't bring you back a big return, but he will bring you back a low level prospect or two. So that's something that Baltimore. So Baltimore is certainly going to be fire sailing. And then Dan Duquette's likely going to be fired after this year in Baltimore, along with Buck Showalter. And as much as I've liked Buck Showalter, I just unfortunately think the modern game has passed him, and I hope Showalter's allowed the opportunity to retire instead of being fired over there in Baltimore, as it's definitely going to be Brady Anderson's team next year in Baltimore, and we'll see what changes Peter Angelos makes next year. But they need to get a maximum return for Baltimore to start the rebuilding process. Let's go to the MLB Roundup for tonight. In 12 innings, the White Sox beat the Reds 12-8, taking the win. Hector Santiago taking the loss. Jackson Stevens. Avisail Garcia 3 for 6. Yohan Moncada 3 for 6 for the White Sox tonight. Polka with 2 home runs and Daniel Palka with 2 home runs for the White Sox tonight, his 9th of the year. Avi Garcia, 2 home runs tonight, his 7th of the year. So Avi Garcia could have some trade value for the White Sox. And then for Cincinnati, Jesse Winkler goes 2 for 3 for the Reds. Scooter Gennett hits his 14th home run of the year. Suarez his 17th. Former Giant Adam Duvall his 13th home run of the year. Lucas Giolito gets roughed up for 7 earned and 5 innings pitched. But they do. The White Sox, the bullpen holds strong for the White Sox tonight. And on the other side of the bay in Oakland tonight, the A's beat the Padres at the Coliseum 6-2, taking the win. Emilio Pagan taking the loss. Clayton Richard, who gives up 5 earned and 6 innings pitched. Jed Lowry goes 2 for 3 for the A's. Travis Jankowski goes 3 for 5 for the Friars. Corey Spangenberg 2 for 3, and Lowry clears the bases with a left field liner. Mark Canha with his 11th home run for the A's. Chad Pinder, his 8th home run of the year for the A's. Not a good night though out of Chris Bassett, who only goes 4 2/3, gives up 2 earned. But the bullpen stays strong for the A's. And now the A's improve to 47-39 on the year. They're 8.5 back in the West. So definitely Oakland trying to make a playoff push. In Wrigley tonight, the Cubs beat the Tigers 5-3, taking the win. Justin Wilson taking the loss. Daniel Stumpf gives up an earned run in 2/3 of an inning pitch for Detroit. Maki Matuk is third, goes 3 for 4 for the Tigers tonight. Wilson Contreras 2 for 3 for the Cubbies. And Chicago is still a game back of Milwaukee despite a 5-game winning streak. In Milwaukee, the Brewers blank the Twins 2-0, taking the win. Junior Guerra taking the loss. Jake Odorizzi, who strikes out 9 in a losing effort. Eric Stams goes 2 for 3 with his 12th home run, which ends up being the killer today for the Twins. And now Minnesota's lost 5 in a row. In the nation's capital tonight, the Red Sox beat the Nationals 11-4. Taking the win is Brandon Workman. Taking one on the chin tonight is Tanner Rourke, who falls to 3-10 on the year. Gives up 9 earned run in 7 innings. The Nationals fall to 42-42 on the year. And the Nats could be in trouble here going into the trade deadline. Xander Bogaerts goes 2 for 3. Eduardo Nunez with his 6th home run of the night of the season. Bogaerts his 13th of the year. Just Dingers hits his 26th of the year. Brian Johnson only goes 4 2/3 innings, gives up 2 earned. And then Matt Grace gives up 2 earned and 1 inning pitch for the Nationals. And now the Nationals lost 4 in a row. They're 7 back in the East. Do they maybe start listening to offers for Bryce Harper here soon if they don't turn it around? In the Bronx, the Yankees beat the Braves 8-5, taking the win. AJ Cole taking the loss. Sean Newcomb, who gets roughed for 5 earned in 2 2/3 innings pitched. Brandon Hicks with his 15th home run of the year. Giancarlo Stanton, 20th home run of the year for the Bombers. And Domingo Germán only goes 4 1/3 tonight for the Bombers. giving up 3 earned in 4 and a third innings pitched for German. Andrew and Adam Warren, 2 earned in 1 and third innings pitched for the Yankees. And in Philly tonight, the Phillies beat the Orioles 3-2, taking the win. Zach Eflin taking the loss. Alex Cobb, who falls to 2-10 on the year, one of his better starts of the year, goes 6 and 2/3, gives up 3 earned. Mark Trumbo goes 2 for 3 for the Orioles. It's his 11th home run of the year. Trumbo could certainly bring back something for the Orioles at the trade deadline. Maikel Franco goes 2 for 3. Philadelphia just 2.5 back of Atlanta after tonight's win. And in Toronto, the Blue Jays beat the Mets 8-6. Taking the win, John Axford taking the loss. Tim Peterson. Gervis Solarte hits his 16th home run of the year for the Blue Jays. Gurriel, his 4th home run of the year for Toronto. Not Yuri Gurriel, but Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Asdrubal Cabrera hits his 15th of the year for the Mets. Marco Estrada only goes with 1/3 of an inning pitch.
This Friday, nothing can prepare you for what's coming. That's fire! Rolling Stone Rays. Watch this.
And then Marco Estrada left the first inning with left hip soreness. Not good news for Toronto, not good news for contenders looking for pitching help at the trade deadline. Jake Petrica gives up 2 earned and 2 2/3 innings pitched. Joe Biagini an earned run and 2/3 of an inning pitched. Zach Wheeler was good tonight. Anthony Swarzak gives up 3 earned and 1/3 of an inning pitched. And in Arlington tonight, the Astros beat the Rangers 5-3, taking the win. Dallas Keuchel, who pitched a much better game tonight than his last start, strikes out 7 in 7 innings pitched. Jin Chu Chu goes 2 for 3 for the Rangers tonight. Tony Kemp hits his second home run of the season. Chris Stavinsky gives up an earned run and 1/3 of an inning pitched. Then Hector Rondon gets his 6th save of the year. Austin Beebens Dirks takes the loss, 5 earned and 6 innings pitched for Texas. And in KC tonight, the Cleat Indians beat the Royals 6-4. Taking the win, Shane Bieber. Taking the loss, Danny Duffy, who gets roughed for 6 earned and 6 innings pitched. Rosel Herrera goes 3 for 5 for Kansas City. Yonder Alonso goes 3 for 3 for Cleveland. And Danny Duffy's ERA balloons to 5.19 after tonight's game, as he still looks to get back on track. And games currently in progress. In Miami, in the top of the 16th inning, the Rays currently lead the Marlins 6-4. Pitching right now is Brett Graves. Matt Duffy's gone 2 for 6. Jake Bauers 2 for 8. Adam Hechavarria 3 for 7 for Miami. Justin Bohr 3 for 6 for Miami. Hechavarria 3 for 7 for Tampa. And the starters did not last long either tonight. Ryan Yarbrough only goes 3 innings, allows 2 earned. Trevor Richards gives up 4 and 5 innings pitched. Since then, it has been a bullpen game, and they are probably running out of out of players at this point, and they're probably getting down to the starters at this point. But now it's going to the bottom of the 16th. Currently in the desert, the D-backs lead the Cardinals 6-2, so the Giants could lose a game tonight. There. Cole Goldschmidt's 2 for 4. Jake Lamb 2 for 4. Goldschmidt has hit his 19th home run of the year. If the D-backs win tonight, the Giants will fall 4 back. Fall 3.5 back. And they could fall into 4th place with a loss tomorrow, so that they better be careful about that tomorrow. And then in Seattle, in the top of the 8th inning, the Mariners currently lead the Angels 3-1. Wade LeBlanc gets a 1-year contract extension. 7 strong, 1 earned run, so not too bad. Andrew Heaney, a better outing tonight. 10 strikeouts in 7 innings pitched, gives up 3 earned. Just no run support. And in Dodger Stadium, the LA Dodgers currently lead the Pirates 8-3. David Freese has gone 3 for 3 for the Pirates tonight. Elias Diaz has gone 2 for 3. And on the Dodgers side, Max Muncy has gone 3 for 4 for the Dodgers. Yasmani Grindal 2 for 3. Chris Taylor 3 for 3. Doc Peterson has hit his 13th home run of the year. Max Muncy's hit 2 home runs, his 20th of the year. Chris Taylor his 10th of the year. Yasmani Grindal his 12th of the year. Pique Hernandez his 15th of the year. And Clayton Kershaw is back from the disabled list. Only gives up 2 earned runs in 6 innings pitched. Yimi Garcia gives up an earned run in 2/3 of an inning pitched. Ivan Nova gives up 7 earned in 5 innings pitched. And the Giants could lose another game to the Dodgers tonight. If that game stands. So the Giants are going to have their work cut out here as they head back home. But they first got to just play for pride tomorrow and avoid the sweep. And down on the farm tonight, and also in other news, Colby Rasmus is probably going to be retiring after taking the leave of absence from the Orioles. So we wish him a happy retirement there. And in the Battle of 99 tonight, the Grizzlies currently lead the River Cats 4-0. John Cameron's gone 2 for 4 for the Grizzlies. Elby Tomlinson 1 for 2. Miguel Gomez 1 for 3. Ryan Hannigan 1 for 1. Cy Snead is throwing a shutout. 6 scoreless innings, 6 strikeouts, 3 walks in 6 innings pitched. Jordan Johnson gives up 4 earned in 5 innings pitched. And Josh Osich currently pitching for the River Cats. So tomorrow's priority for the Giants, just win one. Don't get swept in Denver. Make it a good 4th of July. And let the fireworks be the fireworks of victory tomorrow. And play Austin Slater some more, please. All right, everybody have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow after the fireworks go off in Pismo Beach. And then when I get back, it won't be immediately after the game. But everybody enjoy their 4th of July tomorrow. Enjoy the fireworks. Then enjoy Giants Roundup after the fireworks tomorrow night. Good night.